Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wife!
It's the Sacrilegious Book Club.
Awesome!
And we are talking about Asimov's Guide to the Bible in our continuing journey through the book of Genesis.
In the Asimov's Guide to the Bible.
Yes.
The book club thing.
The book club.
Okay.
Yes.
So you ready to go book club it up?
Yeah, we're doing pages 33 through 48.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, so we are picking up with Cain and Abel.
Okay.
Okay, that's our first section, starting on page 33.
Those loving brothers, got it.
Loving brothers. So, the word Cain comes from the Hebrew Cain, which means smith.
Okay.
As in metalsmith.
Okay.
As in workersmith.
Sure.
Okay. And the word Abel comes from the Hebrew Hebel or Hebel, which means a puff of air. And I'll get to that in a minute, of the difference between the two.
Sure.
Okay? So Cain was a farmer. Okay?
Right.
And he was also a smith, a metalsmith.
I did not know that.
I did not either. But for the sake of knowing that, let's say that we did know that.
Okay.
And obviously smiths are necessary for uses in metals, in ornamentation, and for weapons for hunting and warfare.
Killing brothers.
Killing brothers.
Right.
No, he killed him with a stone, didn't he?
I think so, but still.
Right. Artisans and positions of honor and importance were granted to smiths.
Yeah.
They were like uber importante. Okay? So, something else that we should know is, I'm going to get into this a little bit more later.
Okay.
That a lot of these names of the the kids and the begats and whatever,
Yeah.
they're actually less about people and more about lands and groups of peoples. Okay?
Okay.
So, Tubal Cain is one of Cain's eventual sons or whatever.
Yeah, right.
What that actually meant was the Smith of Tubal, which is a district in Asia Minor.
Interesting.
Okay? And they produced superior weapons and were likely the founders of metallurgy, that area.
Huh. Okay.
Now, remember I said Abel means a puff of air?
Yeah.
So we've got a smith, which is a city kind of skill.
Right.
Right? Settled and all that.
Yeah.
Civilization.
Right.
Versus the briefness and instability of the nomadic way of life.
Oh.
Against the steady push
so
of the
Cain
farmer.
and Abel is kind of like a story of the rise of the city, essentially.
The rise of the city versus the
Nomadic,
nomads.
yeah.
Right. Because Abel was a herdsman. He
Okay.
was a nomad.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you're following where I'm going here.
Right, right.
So we've got the farmer versus the nomad. And these histories were written from the perspective of the peaceful farmers and city dwellers.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Versus the nomads who were ruthless and bloodthirsty barbarians and raiders.
Obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
So Cain's jealousy of Abel is likely in part, quote, a remnant of some nomadic lament over the all-encroaching tentacles of settled civilization.
Okay.
End quote.
Okay.
The example that Asimov gave in the book was to think of the Wild West cowboys versus
Right.
the fenced-in farmers.
Yeah.
And that even brought to mind that song, Don't Fence Me In.
Right, right.
Right? Now, to bring it even further, I was trying to think of some modern day examples of what this might be.
Yeah.
Hollywood versus Wall Street, right? We've got Hollywood is the wild versus, Wall Street is about the money and settle down, blah, blah,
guess.
blah.
Okay.
Or art degrees versus the stable careers.
Definitely, yeah. The business degree versus the
Right.
liberal arts degree.
Exactly,
For sure, yeah,
exactly.
Right?
So those are things that you might compare the two.
Right.
And
Just for the record, I'm a fan of the liberal arts degree.
oh, same here. But it's very, I don't want to say controversial, but in many families it is controversial. Our own child is suffering that. In our household, our child wants to pursue not just a degree, but a career in the arts as a digital artist or illustrator.
Right.
And their father at their other family house want them to go into business and to get a more stable career.
Yeah.
So
or join the army.
That's
Just saying. That was brought up.
that was brought up, but that's not pertinent to this conversation. I'm just saying, these things still have a way of existing through time.
No, yeah, definitely.
So that was section number 10, Cain and Abel. Moving on, number 11 is Nod,
Okay.
starting on page 34.
Yeah.
So Cain murders Abel, and then he goes on to dwell in the metaphorical land of Nod,
Right.
which is east of Eden.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Eden is not a garden. It's a city in which the garden dwells.
Right, right.
Okay? So, Nod is Hebrew for wanderer, again nomad.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So, it's funny because Cain was the farmer, the settled guy, then he became a nomad
Right.
in the land of Od, and that's kind of ironic, right?
Right, but I mean, I guess because he killed his brother, his punishment was to become what his brother was, essentially, right?
Exactly.
So, or whatever, metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
Yeah. So.
And Eden, of course, is likely Sumeria.
Okay.
East of Eden, then the city, the area, would be Elam, which is southwestern Iran today.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
The story of Cain and Abel is likely a combination of, quote, a villainous Elam attacking a blameless Sumeria.
Of course.
As told by the Sumerians.
Yeah.
And a villainous farmer, represented by Cain, attacking a blameless nomad, represented by Abel,
Right.
as told by the nomads.
I mean, it's like any other story. You teach the people history, and when it's all spoken word, right? You teach them history by metaphorical, easy to grasp concepts. You know, like, so you break it down to a individual level, and it's much easier to explain why this is good and why this is bad, and keep things very surface as far as what you're teaching. So.
I mean, we do that still today. We give metaphors to try to, like what I just did,
right?
Literally with the liberal arts versus the
make it more relevant for who you're talking to, or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Even for yourself.
Yeah,
because if it's easier for you to describe something this way than that way, then you do it that way. So
exactly, we try to make it more simple for a general and broad audience, and we even do that with math and word problems.
Sure. Yeah.
So okay, that's that section. Moving on to section number 12, which is Enoch of Cain, starting on page 35. Okay. So even though Cain was a farmer and then became a nomad, eventually he settled, married, and had a son, Enoch.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And through Enoch, Cain had many descendants.
Yes.
Not going to get into those right now.
Right.
Will eventually, probably.
Beget.
Right. Likewise, or perhaps the basis of the Cain legend, pastoral Elam gave way to civilization.
Right.
I mean, as does.
Sure.
So.
Yep.
Pocahontas eventually married John Smith.
Well, I mean, like,
in
how
the
do
Disney movie.
How do you give the oral dissertation of, and the world became,
right,
like
exactly,
and especially in a time when you didn't have the internet, you didn't have even written word most of the time. I mean, there was Sumerian cuneiform, yeah,
right.
But I mean, there wasn't much tracking of anything,
right? I mean, we're going to get into much more of that here in just a little bit.
Sure.
But that's Enoch of Cain,
right?
Okay. Next section, 13, Seth, which starts again on page 35.
Okay.
And that was Adam's third son.
Got it.
So he had Cain and Abel, and then he had Seth.
Right.
Okay. Now, Adam supposedly lived 930 years.
Damn.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Obviously. These ages are part of the tales picked up during the Jews' Babylonian exile. Okay? So, all of these were modified by the priests as part of the peace strand. Remember the priestly...
The amount that people lived? They were modified by the peace strand, huh? Okay.
Because... I'm going to get into this more in a little bit, but a lot of these were Sumerian stories.
Oh, okay.
That were then picked up and corrected and modified by the priestly strands. And a lot of these stories we have to take not as how they were originally told or even as how they were originally gathered into writing.
Right.
We have to take how they were interpreted by the priestly hands that put them down.
Wow.
Okay.
That
has to do with geography. That has to do with the politics of the time.
Right.
Everything that we read in the Bible must be viewed through that context.
I just listening to just these first couple of chapters of this book, it strikes me that if you are going to be a Christian or Jewish or whatever, right, that your church service, your pastor should be more of a historian than a feel-good fucker up there in front of you, because like there's so much to understand and interpret about this that if you really are digging into this, you should be really fucking digging into this. They don't.
Well, it never occurred to me that these stories were gathered from multiple sources. I kind of knew that.
Right.
That kind of makes sense. But more that the stories are not to be viewed as they were originally told, but through the people who actually, and not even through the people who told them, and not through the people who gathered them and wrote them down, but the way we need to view them is through the people who put the most emphasis on molding them.
Right.
Because it would have been based on their understanding.
Yeah.
that to me is insane.
Yeah.
And that's where we get a lot of the geography from. It's their understanding of geography.
Right.
Not the people
From
who preceded
thousands
them.
of fucking years ago.
Right. But even at that, it's not from the people who preceded them.
Right.
Who
No,
came
there was
before
this
them.
point in time, at
Yeah.
some point,
Yeah.
that formed the entire idea of what the Bible is, and it didn't come from exactly before the Bible, and it didn't come from after the Bible. It
Right.
was just whatever they perceived it to be.
At that one point in time.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And obviously, and also it got rewritten from them and mistranslated.
Sure.
So, like, on top of that, right?
On top
like,
of
I
that.
mean, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Indeed. So, the P strand.
I just can't. Every time you say P strand,
I know you got to think for a minute.
Yeah.
The P bit. The
Priestly bit.
The priestly bit.
Yeah.
During the Middle Ages, the Jews calculated the date of creation specifically as October 7th, 3761 BCE. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
During the Middle Ages, they came up with that.
Why?
They came up with it based on different dates, not dates, but ages of people that were given in the Bible.
Oh, so they're basing this on the Bible.
Well, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Obviously.
No, I'm just because I feel like that the people that were alive before that might have some questions for them.
Right.
What the fuck, man?
So that specific date is still used in calculating the years of the Jewish calendar. So the current year, which is 2022,
Yeah.
would be the year 5782.
I like that a lot better.
Right?
I mean, no, you know what? We're not that fucking advanced. I'm sorry.
No.
We don't get the number 5,000.
No.
We barely started evolving after the 2000s.
Exactly.
So, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, fuck off.
But I just found it interesting that year is still what's used on Jewish calendars
Yeah.
today.
Right. I think that we should start, like, this is all BCE, and we should start the 0 day at when we abolish religion.
That would be amazing. That would be fucking amazing.
I'm just saying, like, you know.
So Christian theologians date creation as occurring at 9 a.m. on October 23rd in 4004 BCE. And that's where you get people like my dad who are young Earth creationists who believe that the planet itself is only 6,000 years old.
Oh my God.
Despite the many, many traces of things that we found that show the Earth is actually millions of years old.
Hold on, October 23rd. Mm-hmm. At 9 a.m.
At 9 a.m.
Okay.
And I'm not sure where that time came from.
I love it. I love it. They've got it down to a fucking hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
1, 2,
awesome.
3, go.
Right? Yeah.
Everything was created 1, 2, 3, go.
That's amazing.
Okay.
It just doesn't, like, that doesn't even sit logically in my brain. Like,
No.
I can't even like pretend to make that work. I know that people do. I just don't understand it. Like, I don't get it.
I don't even want to have a conversation because it starts with a profound lack of science and education.
Like, if you say that to me, I laugh and then I go, oh, you were for real.
Exactly.
Like, you actually believe that.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
We've got vast, there's worlds, we're worlds apart. I'm sorry, but you need to go away.
Well, like, we were at my parents' house for dinner several weeks ago, and I asked my dad, who, when I was a child, was very interested in science.
Right.
And we would read science magazines, and we would talk about space and the probability or potential likelihood of life having developed on other planets.
Right.
And asking the question, what does life actually mean scientifically and biologically?
Sure.
How would we know it if we saw it? I mean, very intense scientific questions.
I wish I would have met these parents of yours that you
Back
grew
then.
up with. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
And so I was talking to my dad about the recent UFO findings and reports that have been released from the Pentagon and and the pilots that have come on record finally as saying, yes, there are things in the sky that they don't understand yet.
Right.
And all of that. And my dad poo-poos all of that and says, well, I'm a young Earth creationists, so I don't believe in any of that.
Let me just stop that right there, because at the it's one thing to defend religion, right? Mm-hmm. But like to not even, okay, let's say you believe in the young Earth creationists and you don't believe in aliens, you don't believe in any of that stuff. We're the center of the fucking goddamn universe, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, fine, but couldn't you at the very least be like, yeah, that's so weird. It's probably like the Russians coming up with like. Something. Can't you just give it some sort of an acknowledgement that it's out? Like, you don't have to, like, immediately jump to, I believe none of it because I am a young Earth creationist.
Well, that, my face kind of fell because, I was disappointed. Like, God, we can't even talk about this?
Right.
Holy shit.
Right.
But then I was like, but what does the age of the planet have to do with whether or not there are things in the sky we don't understand?
Right.
And I'm not here to say, for a fact, aliens exist, period, the end.
Fuck, okay? Maybe since the creation of Earth, maybe God got bored. I mean, we haven't really seen him around, and they went and started life on some other fucking planet, you know? I don't know.
I'm not even saying that, okay?
I'm just
Clearly,
saying.
because I don't believe in God.
Right, no, I'm throwing that out there, like, as a possible explanation as to why there could be aliens, right? I just didn't
understand what one had to do with the other.
Nothing.
What does the age of the Earth have to do with if there are things flying in the sky that we can't explain as of yet?
Nothing.
We being the average American, not people with a lot more scientific knowledge or top secret clearances or potential aliens. Yeah. I don't fucking know.
Right,
okay?
right.
So, yeah, that was just a strange conversation.
Yeah.
And heartbreaking.
Right, because you realize that parent that you knew is dead and gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no offense. I'm
no,
just,
it's true. I have two sets of parents. There's the people that I knew when I was a child who were very cruel but believed in science. And then there's the ones that I know now who are very kind but very religious and horribly scientifically ignorant and anti-vax, and
it's a weird juxtaposition.
It is I'm not sure which I prefer. Most days I think the abusive parents might be better because at least they believed in science.
Right.
And why am I in that position of having to ask myself?
It's a big mindfuck.
It is a big mindfuck. So, okay, moving on.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Section number 14, Enoch of Seth.
Okay.
Starting on page 36.
All right.
Okay, so we've got 10 generations of Adam through Seth that are listed.
Okay.
And these are where we start to get into these children that are listed are actually different people.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or not people, I'm sorry. Lands and
tribes,
peoples.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Right. So the antediluvian patriarchs.
Sure.
Can you suss out what that means? Antediluvian, meaning post-flood.
Oh.
Patriarchs would be the leaders of tribes.
Okay.
Okay. So
yeah.
The Diluvian era would be the flood era.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because Diluvian.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So think of the word deluge.
Got
flooded.
It. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm sorry, I said post, but I meant pre. Antediluvian would be pre-flood heads of tribe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So Seth and Cain lines have similar names. So, it is suggested that perhaps these are a combination of the J and P strands.
Okay.
Because they have very overlapping titles.
Got it.
And it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Okay. Got it.
So we're going to go with that was just a bad recording of two different stories.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
So the long lives are likely from Sumerian legends. Remember I said that?
Yep.
And the writers of this section of the Bible cut down the ages to a more believable length over time.
Wow.
So
more believable. They're not very fucking believable.
But the Sumerian people stories, the people lived for thousands of years.
I mean, I just don't really see the difference between thousands versus...
Well, no. What they did was they cut down these earliest ones to about 1,000 years, right? And then you notice that each generation...
got a little smaller.
The people got a little smaller and smaller and smaller, lived up until, where they're more believable.
Sure.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Okay, they cut them down over time, over the generations.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
So... what's interesting is that Jared, which is one of the descendants here, he lived 962 years.
Got it.
Okay, you remember Adam lived almost 1,000 years, right?
Yep.
So Jared's son Enoch lived 365 years, whereas Enoch's son Methuselah lived 969 years. So we went to 1,000 was Adam. And then we went, Jared was 962, Enoch was 365, and then we went back up to Methuselah. I just assumed maybe he got, murdered or fell off a cliff or something. No. What happened was it is suspected that maybe since Enoch was between two long-lived peoples, that 365 is an interesting odd number. Like, what do we think of when
a year?
The cycle of the sun, right?
Yeah, right.
As it circles the earth.
Yeah.
So it's suggested that perhaps this is like the remnants of some Babylonian sun myth.
Oh,
that kind of a little bit made it into the Bible.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
The post-exilic Jews, meaning after the Babylonian exile, believed that Enoch was taken alive into heaven for his piety.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So he's supposed to have been God is great, God is good. And so God loved him so much that he took him early, but he took him alive. So Enoch never died.
Got it.
He's still alive, right?
Sure.
He's considered a prophet. And so while he was in heaven, Enoch saw past and future of mankind, and he wrote books that didn't make it into the Bible.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Enoch's prophecies are going to be mentioned at some point in the New Testament in the book of Jude.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right?
Huh.
So...
that sounds like a great name for something. Enoch's prophecies.
Right? Yeah, it sounds like a good name for a book of the Bible.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just
Enoch, or the prophecy of Enoch.
Right, yeah.
And again, his son Methuselah lived 969 years. I know I've said that a couple times now. But Methuselah itself has become synonymous with long-lived.
Got it.
So, when you hear the name Methuselah attributed to anything, you understand that now to mean... this is somebody or something that lived a really long time.
Got it.
Okay. So the number of years is kind of irrelevant.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So next section, number 15, Ararat, page 38.
Okay.
Okay. So this is where we start getting into Noah.
Got it.
Noah was born about 1,056 years after the creation.
Okay.
And that's, again, based on...
according to them... Genesis, or I'm sorry, most of the people had just died from the first round of people.
Right, exactly.
Adam just missed visiting with Noah. I mean, I'm just saying, based on time frames here.
It's true. It's true.
Okay.
So at about age 600, then came the flood. So this would have been about 2,400 BCE. Okay. Came the Great Flood.
Yep.
Okay, the capital F flood.
Right.
Evidence does exist that somewhere about 3000 BCE, there were likely drastic floods of the Euphrates in Samaria.
Okay.
Likely accompanied by a sudden rise in water level.
Sure.
And that would have been of the Persian Gulf. Mm-hmm. And perhaps a large meteorite could have formed a huge tidal wave.
Yep.
So you've got all the rains, you've got the flood, you've got the tidal wave, and that would have swept the people upstream, northwest toward Ararat.
Got it.
Okay? And I'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
But that's likely,
that would make sense.
The people of that time, the world is flooded.
Right.
There is a great flood.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about, but one family survived.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So the flood story is likely based on the Sumerian story of Gilgamesh,
Okay.
which I think we all kind of have heard of that before.
Right.
He was the king of the Akkadian town Erech.
Okay.
And Gilgamesh searches for eternal life, and he finds it with Utnapishtim,
Yeah, that guy.
who was king of a Sumerian city at the time of the flood.
Okay.
Okay, so Gilgamesh goes on to retrieve the secret of eternal life, gets all the things that he would need to acquire it, but then through some other series of tragedies loses it and obviously doesn't
Dies.
attain
Right.
eternal life. But be that as it may, that story precedes our Bible story of the flood.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
So clearly came from that,
Sure.
as did many Bible stories.
Yeah.
So a lot of people today think that Ararat was a specific mountain range because that's where in the Bible it says that Noah's Ark came to rest on Mount Ararat.
Right. Right.
But it was a region, not a specific mountain range.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's referred to several different times in the Bible as an area or a kingdom or a land, not a specific mountain.
Got it.
It's likely Urartu,
Okay.
a kingdom during Assyrian times among the mountains of the Tigris and Euphrates in current eastern Turkey.
Okay.
So somewhere in that area is a bunch of mountain ranges.
Sure.
And that city, Urartu, ceased to exist by 612 BCE due to Assyrian attacks.
Okay.
Okay. But Assyrians likewise were simultaneously being destroyed by the Persians, who called that area Armenia.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The modern Mount Ararat consists of two ranges, the Great Ararat and the Little Ararat. And tradition incorrectly fixes Noah's Ark as resting on Great Ararat. And there are several expeditions sent to that mountain periodically to try to dig up the Ark. But they're probably not even looking on the right fucking mountain because they're basically stupid.
Right.
And didn't even do the littlest bit of research that we are doing, which is sad because we are dum-dums.
Right.
So now as I'm flipping through my notes, you will see, what do you see, my dear husband?
I see Noah's Descendants, Table of Nations.
Yeah. I had to print out, separate from my notes, a list of Noah's descendants because I was getting so fucking confused.
Oh, we were confused when we read it.
Yeah. So Noah's descendants, his three sons are Japheth, Shem, and Ham.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
And then Japheth had several people who had more people.
Yep.
Shem had people who had more people. And then Ham had people who had more people.
Right.
You said that it's referred to as the Table of Nations. This is specifically where it starts to count as tribes and peoples and countries and nations.
Gotcha.
Not individual persons.
Yeah. By the
Okay.
by the time you get down to the bottom, I see the ites and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. So here's where it gets a little bit confusing, but we're gonna we're gonna do the best that we can.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So next section is number 16, Ham, page 42.
Okay.
Okay. So Noah's sons again were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And actually, I've been pronouncing Japheth wrong because the J is a Y, so it's Japheth.
Ah.
Okay. That matters later.
Okay.
Okay. So
Japheth.
just keep that
All right.
in the back of your brain.
Got it.
Okay. So Shem's descendants occupied the Arabian Peninsula and northern regions, including the Tigris-Euphrates region.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to break each of these kids down, each of these three kids of Noah, down into what they actually represent.
Okay.
So Shem was in the Arabian Peninsula. Shem equals Sem, and that is the Semitic peoples.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And the languages include Hebrew, Assyrian, Aramean, and Arabic.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ham is considered the father of Canaan.
Mm-hmm.
And his descendants occupied the corner of Africa adjacent to Asia.
Okay.
And the peoples are Hamitic, as opposed to Semitic.
Got it.
We've got Hamitic.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
The languages are Coptic, Berber languages of North Africa, and Ethiopian languages like Amharic.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
Japheth's descendants occupied regions north and east of the Tigris-Euphrates region, and those peoples are referred to as Japhetic or Japhetic.
Right.
Those languages are obscure northern mountainous regions of the Caucasus, ancient Persian,
Okay.
and most Indian and European languages, which are now referred to as Indo-European.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, I know that was all boring, but I promise it comes back and it's interesting.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to read a quote here from Asimov's book. Quote, some moderns seem to think that Ham, which was the Hamitic languages, represents the Negro peoples and that this chapter can be used to justify Negro slavery. This is the purest piffle. Neither Ham, Canaan, nor any of their named descendants were viewed as Negroes by the biblical writers.
Right.
Okay? And I specifically wanted to point that out because today we still view that, not we, me and you, but many people today do view Ham as an excuse for slavery. And Asimov is here to say, absolutely fucking not.
Right. That makes sense. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. And apologies for any offensive use there of a word that I'm not familiar or comfortable saying.
Right.
I was reading the quote and I felt it was important in what he was saying was to negate that belief.
Right.
So,
okay.
was not trying to be in any way insulting to anybody there.
Right. Okay. I just... Yeah.
Nope, you got it. Next section, number 17, page 45.
Okay.
The Japheth.
you had to correct yourself there.
I did. Japheth.
Yep.
He is the ancestor of the Greeks, often identified with Iapetus.
Okay.
And in Greek myth, Iapetus was a titan and was the father of Prometheus, who fathered the human race by molding them from clay. Right.
That was one of the early versions of how... Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Japheth fathered Gomer, Magog, Madai, Yavan, Tubal... We've heard that name before.
Yeah.
Meshech and Tiras. Okay?
Yep.
This is why I had to print out that chart, because these names, I'm like, wait, who are we with now? Okay, so we're going to talk about Japheth's child, Gomer.
Okay.
Gomer is related to Gomerai.
Sure.
Or the Sumerians, not Sumerians, the Cimmerians with a C,
okay.
I, not S-U, Cimmerians.
Okay.
Who wounded the Assyrians. Okay, they didn't defeat them, but they fought them, and they did a good job of hurting them.
Got it.
He fathered Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. Who cares?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, these are peoples, though, not persons.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Ashkenaz is the Assyrian Ashguza, which are the Scythians, the nomadic tribes who drove the Cimmerians, C-I, into Asia Minor.
Okay.
Magog, the land of Gog, or the Gyges, ruled the Lydians in Western Asia Minor, and they died in battle against the C-I Cimmerians.
Okay.
Okay. Madai is the Medes, inhabited the territory east of Assyria. Okay, so these, again, I just can't say this enough. These are not individual people.
Right.
These are entire civilizations that we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yavon, or Javan is what I've always said, but it's Yavon, was from the Greek Ion or Yon.
Okay.
And he's from the Ionian Greeks. And they migrated east to occupy islands in the Aegean Sea and coast of Asia Minor.
Okay.
And fathered the following: Elijah, which is from the Greek Alashaya, and that represents the island of Cyprus.
Okay.
He also fathered Tarnish, which is a city in Spain, or else the Greek town Tarsus, which is 100 miles north of Cyprus on the southern coast of Asia Minor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also Kittim, which is Greek Kidian or Latin Citium, which is the city on southern coast of Cyprus.
Okay.
So we're naming off different... when we say that Noah fathered these nations...
Right.
That's
he fathered
literally...
these cities, basically.
Yeah,
And
that's
these-
literally what they're saying. Like...
Got it.
This is a tribe of nations, not sons.
Got it. Yeah.
And one final one, Dodanim, which is Rodanim, which is the island of Rhodes, 200 miles west of Cyrus.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we're going back up to another... You know what? Who even cares who's related to whom at this point?
Right.
It doesn't matter, honestly, in the long run, because if you were really interested in this chart, you could print it out. I went on Google and just searched for Noah's tribes or
Right.
Noah's ancestry or descendants.
Right. And they've already got them out there.
They've already got them out there.
Right.
So Tubal represents the tribes in Asia Minor.
Okay.
Meshech represents tribes in Asia Minor, and Tyrus represents tribes in Asia Minor, the Greek Tyrosoi, who migrated to Italy and likely were the Etruscans.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Last section.
All right.
Number 18, Cush, page 47.
Okay.
Ham's sons were Cush, who are the Ethiopians south of Egypt, Put, which are the Libyans, Mizraim, which are the Egyptians, and Canaan, which, you know, the Canaanites.
Sure.
Another contradiction is that Cush is also described, just further down the same page, as father of the Arabian tribes.
Okay.
So, what the fuck, Cush? It's unclear if there are two Cushes or if he was misnamed or what.
What's interesting to me, they're naming off the tribes that are kind of like in Africa, it seemed like. Mm-hmm. And so, but when in the Bible, later on, they're fighting Canaanites up in Israel, which is closer to not Africa. I mean, I guess it's close enough to Africa.
Well,
but it's still...
I think that we're used to viewing the map as quote-unquote up there.
Right.
And they're naming places quote-unquote down there.
Right.
And we just have to change our frame of reference.
Sure. Yeah, Africa doesn't necessarily mean... Like, they didn't know what a continent was back then, right? So it was just an area in this general area.
Right. And this would have been all in regards to where... the cradle of life, you know, where civilization is said to have sprung from. So it makes total sense.
Yeah, it does.
Having come out of Africa.
Yep.
So that is it for this section of the Bible. You'll be very excited to know that I stopped right before Nimrod.
Oh, man. Nimrod.
Yeah. That is literally the next one that we'll cover.
That is very exciting to me.
If you are reading along and want to play this game with me, next time I'll be covering pages 48 through 65 in still the book of Genesis in Asimov's Guide to the Bible. And those sections will be Nimrod, Aram, Babel, Ur of the Chaldees, Haran, Canaan, Egypt, and Pharaoh.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week with the next book club.
Alrighty.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, wife. I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Hey wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.